My name is Dr. Lake. I am a functional medicine provider, and I help women who are struggling with energy and fatigue go from kind of feeling frustrated and tired to being more energized and confident. So it really started for me when I wanted to transition from having a brick and mortar practice to doing more of an online presence and having more of an online business. It really came down to just my life. Like my wife and I decided that we wanted to be more flexible, that we wanted to have more options. And so I was about to transition into like buying a building and really growing up a practice, then moving into like scaling everything down and just being really simple with my life and my business to looking forward to creating an online practice and business. And so that's what I've done. So the Authority Accelerator really took me because I already had this kind of started this transition process to where I was looking at creating an online course, and I was watching a lot of Sunny's content for actually several months before I really actually pulled the trigger. And so I started creating my own thing. And like most of us, I think I realized pretty quickly that I was missing a lot of components that were going to take me from just being average and just kind of having some fun and treating it like a hobby to actually turning it into a business. And so after a while of struggling, I started to see that I was just like, I've done this in the past with some other coaches and some other programs, and I'm sure that Sunny's course is going to be the same and hopefully better. And it really has blown me out of the water for my expectations. And that initial investment I made has been a huge, huge return on my investment to this point. So it's been a really good decision thus far. So some tangible results I've received are I have about, let me think here, like 85 or 86 clients in my program. And so I started officially back on like May 17th. So when I started to create this and implement this. And so at this point in time, it's about 6 months to where I've kind of achieved that. And from a financial perspective, it's been about $98,200 and some dollars is what I've netted to this point. And so I think that's been, the nuts and bolts of it. But really from another intangible, I think a lot of people don't appreciate is I've worked probably, gosh, I don't know, 4 days a week, most weeks, and have actually taken off about 6 weeks during this whole time frame just because we moved and we bought a house and we went on a couple of vacations. And so, I was able to accomplish all that just in that short period of time with, only working part of the time. So it's been really quite the accomplishment. And again, it's because of what you guys teach. For someone who is considering joining the program, I think you really kind of have to analyze a couple of different things. For me, I really have to ask myself, like, what do I want out of my life? And like, what are some things that I know I'm working towards? Because I think humans are naturally good at finding problems and we're not super great at finding solutions. And so I think if you can figure out what you want and start to work backwards, and if the Authority Accelerator really fits into what you're trying to accomplish with your life as far as flexibility and kind of being your own boss and having the ability to scale and really just having an impact on people, that's the first thing I think you have to establish. The second thing I would really recommend is that like make sure you're really good at this thing. And like obviously you can always refine your skill. And I was fortunate enough to have a lot of experience working with my clientele and helping women improve their health and all those kind of things in my brick and mortar practice. And it wasn't until I knew that like I could do this that I decided like I can also pursue doing this online. So make sure your skill set is something that you really have experience with, so you can speak from experience when you're talking to your new prospective clients. And then thirdly, just know that these are micro nuances that they're making in the program. So it's not like completely changing your whole life. It's like they take something that you're already doing and they modify it, and it makes a huge impact and it gives you a better return on your investment. And so we're all putting in effort. We're all making an effort to make changes to better our lives. But this program, the Authority Accelerator, really took my efforts and gave me a much, much better return on my effort investment that took the things I was already doing and making them better and just giving me a better result. And so I think if you can have that perspective that this isn't going to flip your world upside down from like how much work you're putting in or the things that you're doing, it's like they're going to modify and tweak what you're doing and give you the right action steps to see real results. And that's what's happened for me. So that's what I would say to really make sure that you're considering those things before you do any kind of online business, but especially before you join the Authority Accelerator.